Yo, what's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel. New ERRA dropped, and this is going to be the fourth and I'm guessing final single before their album, which drops on the 5th of April. We have had Pale Iris, Cure, and Blue Reverie, all of which were singles that I have been on record, just not really enjoying them, and it's been tough to like go back to back with, I guess, somewhat negative reviews for tracks, because obviously it's in everyone's best interest for me to jump on here and just enjoy absolutely everything that I listen to. But the reason I keep coming back to ERRA is because I have a lot of faith in the band. I think they're fantastic. At the very least, I'll give them the production on these last few singles has been some of the best modern production I've heard. It's been absolutely phenomenal. It's just been the songs that haven't done much for me. There's been moments here and there, but just nothing that's like really wowed me about the newer singles. So hoping that this single, which is called Crawl Backwards Out of Heaven, does something a little bit different for me. If it doesn't, I'm just gonna remain honest as I have for the last few singles. I know it can come across as jarring for someone to just continuously say they don't like new singles, but I do like the band. I'm a fan of the scene in general, and I like to keep up with the latest music, and I like to just give my honest thoughts. So let's hope I really enjoy it, because, you know, it doesn't do me any benefit to sit here and not like a song, but I will remain honest about it. So yeah, ERRA, Crawl Backwards Out of Heaven. Let's go. I'm doing a little pause job on it because UNFD have been very, very hard to get around with the copyright. I'll say that. So a little quick pause. That was the intro. Guessing we're going to go into a chorus, and I'm very interested to see where we go with this chorus, because the choruses have been a little bit hit and miss for me with the last couple singles. I think Pale Iris for me is still the best song that they've released of the last couple singles. There has again been fun moments from a production standpoint across the board, really, with all the songs. Vocally, been some fun tracks. I thought the last track kind of just sounded like it had a lot of Jesse Cash's other project. It just had that kind of a feel. I'm not going to tell, I always forget the name, Ghost something. But I checked out some of the tracks off of that latest EP that Jesse released with his other project, and when I heard the latest ERRA single, it just sounded a lot like that. Obviously, there's going to be some crossover with the same fucking vocalist in it, but I think just even from the actual overall feel of the song, it didn't feel too far removed from that other side project. So that didn't like excite me that much about the song. But just in general, I like where this is going so far. There's a lot of like swelling overall. It feels like we have this real pulsating mix going on at the moment. It's really, really fun. And it's kind of just built tension up to this moment, which is why I'm kind of excited to hear this chorus. So yeah, just a little pause there. Don't normally do this, I'm sorry. But again, having some niggly issues with, you know, things with copyright, etc., etc. Getting denied, you know, certain claims. So here's your review. All right, nice and slow. We'll take it very slow and make sure that everything is by the book. You know, don't hate the player, hate the game. All right. That little riff kind of reminded me of some of Mike Stringer's playing on Spirit Box's latest EP. Sick. Another quick pause. And sorry, look, I don't want to come across as a dickhead here. I will go into a little bit more detail. Okay, let's. It's literally right on the screen. UNFD are ERRA's label, and I've had some issues back and forth because. Well, let's just fucking go into it. But let's spill the beans. Come on, let's all talk about it. So with reaction channels, obviously the nature of what we do is it can be a lot to do with how fast we get videos out. And, you know, we want to get things out quickly because obviously the sooner you can get something out, the more relevant it is, the better it is for everyone. I think you guys want to get the reactions out as soon as possible because the music industry moves. I can't speak. It moves so fast. So, you know, we want to get stuff out. The bands would probably prefer if we got it out relatively quick as well because it just builds more hype, you know, the more people that check it out, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so naturally, a lot of the labels that we work with and, you know, that have relationships with creators like myself will send the link in advance. Sometimes they will. A lot of the time it will be like the day of and be like, hey, we have this new track. Get a reaction done to it. Send us the link in advance. Then we'll wait, you know, X business days for it to come back and then you can post it when the copyright clearance gets done. All that is just such a fucking ball ache and an inconvenience. And look, I understand there's like certain ticked boxes that probably have to be checked off in the corporate world. I get it. I've been there. But there is other ways around it that we can just dispute a claim. So when a claim pops up on our video, we can just dispute it and say, this is a review, this is a reaction, you know, within these rights, we are, you know, within our rights to actually do this and be able to monetize this video because it's within the fair use guidelines. Now, I know that's obviously a very gray area, which is why it gets even more annoying. But I've had some back and forth with UNFD. They've been wanting to play ball. Like UNFD are actually one of the good labels to speak back and forth with, which is why I want to like clear that up what I was saying, because there's just some annoying things that my last couple ERRA videos have been getting copyright claims, which is normal. I've disputed them and then they've said like, no, this is, you know, still valid. We're not having that. But then with my Thornhill video, which I think I was a little bit more positive on, they allowed it because that's UNFD as well, if I'm not mistaken. So it just, I hope it doesn't go down this route of like, if you give positive reviews, we'll monetize your video. That's how it looks to me. But obviously I'm still going to remain unbiased, you know, but that was my little thing with UNFD there. But anyway, sorry, back to the music. I know that was a bit, you know, political there, but, you know, I think it's just better to just air these things sometimes. It's just, you know, because otherwise I'm just going to be taking these little slide digs. So anyway, really enjoying this so far. This maybe comes across as me just like trying to cover up the fact that I haven't really loved the last few singles. And now I'm like, right, it's getting a bit like people are going to start getting fed up with me if I don't enjoy the song. But this to me is probably so far second of the 4 singles, just from what I'm hearing so far. Again, opinions can change over time, but I'm liking the sound of this. You know, I'm loving it from a guitar player standpoint. It's not the most insanely technical riffs ever, but it's just kind of stimulating my brain a little bit more than the other tracks have. The other tracks were, I think, a little bit safe for what ERRA can do. Now, again, I love the chorus on Pale Iris, but I just think that this one is just stimulating my I don't know if it's my little TikTok brain or whatever the fuck I have, but I've heard so much goddamn music that I feel like the last few songs, although they have been clean, they've sounded great from a production standpoint, they've just not really stimulated or tickled that little part of my brain that just goes, yes, this is good. And, you know, I'm enjoying this one a lot more from that standpoint. So, again, being very political and diplomatic here, I'm going to continue the video. I've now gotten my pause in to review and discuss and add some comments to the video because that's what we have to do. Sorry, I'm being petty now. All right, I'm going to stop. We good? Tone's pretty immense there towards the end. You can really hear it. Okay, so I'm back. Listen to it one more time on Spotify just to get the better, like, audible experience. And yeah, funny that I happen to be taking to this track a little bit more, considering it doesn't necessarily feel like this is a JT track from a vocal standpoint. Of course, in the bridge section where we have the kind of like soft-spoken whisper style vocals that are layered, I can hear like JT, I think, screaming underneath it or something. There's like a bit of a crossover there. I know Jesse is involved in the cleaner spoken like whisper section, so he's obviously not completely, you know, taking a backseat on the vocals for this track, but it is most certainly a you know, a JT track for sure from a vocal standpoint, which is fucking phenomenal. But I just feel like, I don't know what it is, and I'm trying like my hardest to just be completely honest here, but it just feels like I'm always complaining about something. I feel like an arsehole. But just for this track, I think because of how intense and how fun the start of the song was, I feel like it would have made for a perfect section to just have Jesse come in. Maybe I'm just asking for too much at this point, but because of like the tonality of the song overall, like obviously low tuned guitars, JT's vocals are quite low as well. Just the pitch, maybe like I would have loved to kind of get a switch all of a sudden where we get, you know, Jesse's like soaring vocals. Now, don't get me wrong, I still really enjoyed the track compared to the other ones, but just felt like maybe towards the end, I think it became more prominent for me with the breakdown towards the end, or like the kind of heavier section that led us out of the track felt a little bit tame. I think that's my only real problem with the song. I would nearly have replaced that with like maybe a big vocal moment or something. I don't know, it just felt like something was missing towards the end. Felt a little bit flat, felt a little bit like just lacking intensity for how the track had built up from that point. But funny to think that like the one track that I guess hasn't really massively included Jesse on a vocal standpoint, because I know obviously he's playing the guitar as well, so that's, you know, he's definitely involved in the song. But just, it's funny based on my tastes that the songs that have had Jesse in abundance on vocals haven't really clicked with me apart from Pale Iris. So yeah, I thought that track was pretty fucking solid. I enjoyed it. Again, I love some of the riffs. Some of the fucking muted riffs in the back of this, the intro to the song, were so nice. Great layering across the board. Again, production sounds phenomenal. Again, you know, as to be expected with the last few singles. So overall, I'm kind of like sitting on the fence a little bit about the album, which does come out, what, I think the 5th of April, did I say? When is it? Let me confirm. The 5th of April, yeah. And it's called Cure. So I kind of sit on the fence. I don't really know. I don't really know 100% where I stand with it. Maybe 50-50 in like terms of enjoy. Like I'm going to be checking it anyway, because again, like I said at the start of the video, I'm a big fan of these guys and I want them to do really well, and I really want to love all of their music. But I'll treat them the same way as I treat any other band, where I'll, you know, give them credit where it's due, and then I'll try and just speak as honestly as possible. Whether or not you guys agree with my criticisms or not, that's a different argument altogether. But I just want to come on here and just be honest, regardless of my relationships with bands, regardless whether or not I'm the biggest fan of them, whether or not I like them or not. You know, I'm not gonna fucking die on a hill and say, no, I don't like this band and that's my final thoughts. No, I always want to give everyone a fair shot. So ratings wise, I'm gonna give that an 8.1 out of 10. Again, take the ratings with a pinch of salt. It's just a fucking number I throw out, but I'm feeling like it's an 8.1. I want to give them a bit of a higher bump up because I do like this style of track a little bit more. I think it just had a little bit more character than the last few tracks. But they are my thoughts, guys. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like in the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. See you later. Cheers.